Hi everyone, this is Oli from Fails to Grow channel, and today we will talk about investing in music. As maybe you could guess from the intro of this video, when I was playing guitar, as I'm a former bass guitarist and now I'm playing this instrument which is called electric guitar from time to time, relaxing and these things. So I believe everybody in the world likes music, because music is something like when you pray, so you feel good after. It can help you with your energy, it can support you when you do sport and these things. And usually everybody likes music. I call it a peaceful thing or peaceful asset. Some people talk about the conspiracies or things that are called like message in the music. So maybe somebody who is singing, is predicting the future of the world in the lyrics, but who knows what is the truth? In fact, what we think can happen. So yes, maybe even this can influence us. I mean, the lyrics of the music, and it can help us or to make us thinking the world is said like this or said like that. Now we will talk about some assets that can help you to earn money on music, and some historical facts. So I was doing some research to show something interesting, as maybe you are a fan of, for example, old LPs and these things, so you could see how much you could earn in this in time. Let's start with, as usually, stock market companies. So I chose two today. The first is Warner Music, which is international corporation that is built by many companies, like local companies, record companies, and these things that are collecting artists, and after they are selling their stuff to help them to grow their music businesses. This company is on the market more than 100 years, which is really good. And since 2020, they are also do dividend payouts regularly. So maybe one day they will become a dividend aristocrats. We will see. At the moment, it seems like somebody who holds this company can benefit from their dividend payouts, which is good, because not everybody wants only gains. And what are, for example, their artists? So it's, for example, Beyonce, well-known artist, right? Or Moby, or Paris Hilton, for those who like scandals, for example. And for those who like metal music, like me, Cannibal Corpse, which is very good death metal, and I could call it even partly jazz. So this is one corporate that you can buy on stock market, and because it's music, we can call it peaceful asset, because when you invest in these things, you are making practically world better, right? Because music is a nice thing in general. Another stock company is Spotify, well-known music platforms for people who want to like music, for example, in their office or on bus when traveling or anywhere in the world, online or offline. This company uh, performed their IPO during April of 2018. At the moment, they don't pay any dividends. The company is registered in Luxembourg, so once, for example, they will decide to pay dividend, after the tax, for example, will be different than tax from, for example, Warner. It's about the ISIN code. We will talk about this ISIN code in another video, because it is what influences the taxes, so your profits. So these are two assets that you could hold. You could try to invest in that. It's up to you. As always, there is no financial advice in this video. And now let's have a look at something which is really interesting. So I choose 4 records that were already sold for really high price. And this is something that can show you, maybe, like maybe you hold a old LP record, as I did before, and I sold it for a few pennies. How stupid I am. It was from 70s Black Sabbath, but whatever. And when you hold it for a certain time, the price can increase. This is a very special thing. So when you sell it to someone who's interested in music, he could give you a lot of money. Let's have a look at 4 of them. First is Sex Pistols. It was the God Save the Queen, and somebody sold it in 2018 for more than 60k USD. Can you imagine? Another is the Beatles, 2017, and it was almost 15k USD. Really high price, 7-inch only. After Led Zeppelin, 2017 as well, for around 6k USD. It was sold, so really nice as well. The last one is Prince. It was sold for approximately 5k USD, and it was in 2018. So this is another kind of investment that you can perform, for example, especially when you're a music fan. Many people do these things. I really like it as well. At the moment, I have nothing because I sold, as I said, many things for a few pennies, whatever, my stupidity. But no problem. Maybe you know the fact. Something like when you want to use music for example commercial use, or when you want to share it in your private parties, so probably nothing happens. But in general, when you don't hold the rights, you're supposed to pay to the interpret. Yes, and for example, when you want to use music for free, either you can find something or someone who is providing his music for free, or you can use music which is from interpret who is more than 70 years uh, dead. So after his death, after 70 years after his death, the rights are like erased forever, and everybody could use it. But this is not investment. When you want to, for example, invest in the music rights, which means either you can support new interpret, new musician, so you can fund him, and after you can benefit from his sales. Then you can find this page that I share now. It's called the Royalty Exchange. Royalties, music royalties are practically the rights that you hold, and after you benefit from the rights. At this platform, you can, for example, buy rights for 10, 30 years. It depends what you choose. I just found it because it's something that I like. Maybe this can be another kind of passive income, literally passive income, and from something really nice. And you can even help to build career to someone if you don't, for example, invest, like directly to provide a music instrument to someone, for example. And the last thing is this chart, which show us the global revenues from music between 1999 and 2021, where you can see certain drop, and also like the sales of music are getting increased, but there is a difference. What happens? As you can see, the physical records are much lower, and what is increasing in general is the music which is streamed. For example, Spotify and other platforms. But as you can see, even the physical records are increasing a little bit, and there is one, let's say, big and nice trend. The trend is the LP records are getting more and more popular nowadays. I believe people like the paper things, the smell of the record, so they can touch the record, and also the LP have specific sound because of the needle, and there are some specifications. I don't want to say it's better than CD or better than MP3, for example, because the, let's say, computer music is practically, or computer record is practically unlimited by the capacity, for example, of our computer. But the sound is not specific after. Yeah, it can be, but you can do Control C and Control V. And let's be honest, each LP is unique because of there can be little vibration in the machine. So I believe maybe even the physical records will be increasing in the future because people change, in the time, and even the trends. So me, I like, for example, physical books, right? So somebody else, for example, likes physical records, and when you smell it, you open, the booklet, you read about that, you can touch it, you can smell the aroma of the paper, So this is what I believe will happen. So for today, this is everything from me. I wanted to share the music things or music investing There are many more different kind of investment in music, like you, for example, buy a special instrument or something like that. We can talk about this in another video. And subscribe, like, press the bell button to make sure my videos will be seen for you. You can also comment because I want to know your opinion, and see you in the next video. I must buy it, otherwise I'll be totally funked. Well, bad news. You'll be funked anyway. Hi, this is Oli from Fighters to Grow channel, and today I want to talk about thing which is called FOMO. What does it mean? You know, you go somewhere, there is an offer, limited offer, and you must buy it, otherwise you lose the moment, you lose the thing, and after, when you lose it, your life will be destroyed forever. Do you think this is real? And when we talk about finance and financial markets, trading or investing, the fear of missing out, a la FOMO, is even in this field. What is actually FOMO, for example, in the financial markets? From this chart, you can see the chart is growing up drastically. So what would you think an investor? You would think this: if I don't buy it now, when it's growing, then I will lose the chance forever and I won't get rich forever. And now you can see, promotion of this company, or of this crypto, or of this anything, the product, which is, for example, where in shop or whatever, this is exactly the same. And because we are talking about principles, and this is something that happens in real, the beginners, as you probably are, because you are watching this channel, maybe not, maybe yes, I don't know, thinking they have to buy when everything is going up. Because they think, or you think, even me, I can think this, it will be growing forever. But the reality is completely different, right? Nothing is sustainably growing forever. There is always drop in life, in love, money. You have money, you don't have money. You have people, you don't have people. You have life or you die. Up and down. So FOMO is something that makes you thinking you must go, you must have it, otherwise you lose the chance. And after you will be, for example, loser. So you will feel like shit. No, of course not. You are not loser because you are thinking there is another opportunity in life. Of course, there is always another opportunity. There are 100,000, unlimited number of opportunities in our life. In this field, here, there, over here, down, up, right, left, in the middle, anywhere, anytime. The thing is how we are set here, and what we want in life. Either we want, for example, quality life, so we need money. It's obvious. Without money, you cannot buy, for example, quality food. So in this case, the FOMO makes sense. But you can stand this stress forever. Otherwise, it will completely destroy you. You know. Also, the problem of FOMO when beginners start to invest, for example, in bull market is, as I said, it grows forever, but it's not growing forever, right? Usually, and very often, probably most of the people, they start because of the FOMO very, very late. And it goes like that, and after down, or actually opposite, like this and down. Because FOMO is something that we can call bubble, and when we put a lot of air in the bubble, after the bubble is finished. And what do? We just cry, you know. So this is something that I wanted to explain, and now we have some examples of FOMOs with the year of the FOMO, the name of the FOMO, and the field of the FOMO, which means stock market or crypto market, and also something from history. So you could read that like a silent version of a video at the moment. Enjoy this middle of the video. Have you ever been part of a FOMO, for example, on stock market or crypto market? Doesn't make any difference in this case because the principle is same. Or you buy it's so cheap stuff in the shop, so I have to buy it to save money. Do you think you save money when you buy anything? Of course you don't save, you just spend less. There is no savings into life, only what you keep. And after there is inflation, there is invisible tax, so your money is losing. And what do you do to beat inflation? Is it easy or not? What do you think? For today, we are done with the video. I believe this was interesting part of personal development and something that could bring another point of view in your life, maybe another angle of view. And comment, subscribe, hit the bell button, ping, like the video, and see you in the next session. Do you like gold diggers? Well, today you'll become one of them. Hi, this is Oli from Failures to Grow channel, and today we will talk about gold miners, lithium miners, diamond miners, as I mentioned in previous video. What does it mean? It means we will have a look at some companies that can be part of your portfolio. They also bring dividends, and I will show you a simple analysis of their balance sheet and income statement, and after I will tell you what I think about these companies. Disclaimer: in this video there is no financial advice, so please make sure you understand that I'm not a financial advisor and I'm not responsible for your financial decisions. The first of them is Albemarle Corporation, which is a miner company that is mining lithium, and they are supplying, for example, Tesla and other automotive companies. They have mines in Australia, USA, and Chile. The mine in Australia is owned by this company only from 49%. They belong between dividend aristocrats, which means they pay dividends every year for more than 25 years, and the dividend is increasing every year, which is a sign of very high quality company usually, and we can say they are blue chips company. these companies are usually for people who are seeking something that is a safe investment, and these companies are very often also part of S&P 500 index or something like that. It depends on the country where they are registered. Okay, now we will have a look at the chart of the company, which you can see on the screen. As you can see, the Albemarle Corporation performed extreme growth in last 3 years, probably because of the electric cars are, or generally electrical technology are very wanted at the moment, and many of them need lithium. Yeah, so you could see the one who bought this company, for example, at 2020 or 2021, earned a lot of money on it in percentage. Now let's have a look at the balance sheet. As you can see, the total assets of the company in the last 4 years increased more than 56%, which is pretty good, right? The liabilities increased 25.9%, which is less than the assets, and that is good. And the total equity of the company increased for 100%, which I consider as perfect thing. What about their debt? Their debt in 4 years increased by 4.6% only, which I consider as not bad. When I see, for example, the asset, the equity, and the debt, I can see it's good. The question is if the company is going to grow. Well, I don't know, but in my opinion, lithium will be very, 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 very wanted in upcoming next years, let's say 10 years plus, even more. So I believe, as I said, this can be good investment, especially because it is also the dividend aristocrat. I don't have this company in my portfolio because I expect different dividends from my companies, and this company brings dividends that are not that high, you know. So, but this is not problem at all. As you can see, the total revenue of the company increased, and it increased almost twice in last 4 years. But also the cost of revenue increased. So the ratio between that you can count yourself. So you will count cost of revenue divided the total revenue, and you can count what happens. I like the revenue is increasing because the company probably has cash after to do their operations, etc. And it is something like correlation, in my opinion, together with the chart. So, in my opinion, it could be nice and safe investment for another couple of years, especially for people who want dividends in safe investment. But this is not a financial advice. And here you can see the dividend history since 2018. And as I said, the company is increasing the dividend every year. They pay the dividend quarterly, which is very normal. So this was Albemarle Corporation. The next company, the company number 2, is called Franco-Nevada. Franco-Nevada is a royalty and streaming company, which means they are helping gold miners. So now we are gold diggers. They are helping gold miners to fund their projects, which means when a gold miner, for example, needs money, they help them to get the money. This company pays dividend as well. They are not dividend aristocrat because the dividends are variable, which for some people can be a problem. Some people can stand it. It depends what you expect from the company. They are registered in USA and they are operating internationally. Canada, USA, and South America. Let's have a look at the chart of Franco-Nevada Corporation. You can see the high growth between 2019 and now, which again means people who invested the time in this company could earn a lot of money, or let's say performance in percentage. It depends how much you invest. And also it comes with dividends, so they could do even some reinvestment, so they could perform or they perform compound interest. Mm. What will happen with gold in the next years, for example? I don't know. I am not able to predict future. And from this chart, I can see the company can grow because there is nothing like big increase and big decrease, something like that. It's something similar that the corporation before. Gold is used in electronics, so there is high potential for the growth of the company. But let's have a look at the numbers to see if I'm mistaken or not. If I'm able to predict the growth based on the numbers, not on the chart. So first of all, let's have a look at the balance sheet. I did again assets, liabilities, total equity, and total debt, which I consider as the very important things. And as we can see at the picture, the total assets in the last 4 years increased by 25.4%, which is nice. Liabilities decreased by 4.2%, which is perfect because the company is getting rid of their liabilities. And total equity increased by 26.7%. This is a good sign in my opinion. Now look at the total debt. They have no debt at the moment. So in last 4 years, their debt decreased by 100%. So they are debt free at the moment. It's perfect now for the growth because when the company doesn't have debt, they don't have to pay the debt. They have also less liabilities, so they can focus on maybe development of the company. Maybe they can pay more dividends after. I don't know what is the decision or what will be the decision of the board of the directors, etc. It seems like a good opportunity to invest right now. Another thing is their income statement. Uh, in last 4 years, the total revenue is increasing, but the cost of the revenue is decreasing, which is pretty good. When we see the dividends, you can see the dividends are increasing constantly. I was doing some research and I didn't find it's dividend aristocrat or not, but since 2017, the dividends are increasing, and that is good sign. Maybe it will be higher because the debt is now like zero from the balance sheet, so we will see in the future. Myself, I would consider it for people who want to save money in investing, which seems like safe. This can be good opportunity, but again, this is not something that I would invest in because I'm seeking different kind of dividend yield, which is better for me as I'm on the beginning of in investing, and maybe in another 20 years, for example, I will choose companies like this. So this is Franco Nevada Corporation. The third company that we will analyze at the moment is from Britain. It's called Anglo American PLC. They are worldwide mining company. They are doing diamonds, copper, platinum, and other mines. From the chart that you can see, what I see in the chart, I'm like a wizard, predicting the future from the crystal ball. Because of this chart, probably we cannot do anything from the chart. We don't see chart, we see company. Usually there is living organism, dynamic organism, driven by people, and people are performing the numbers. People are numbers as well, but not much. Okay, people are those who are performing the numbers. This is how I think. And what I think is when I develop good relationship, after we as team or friends, whatever, can develop good numbers. So it means, for example, good emotions in the team. And this is what I think is very important. And no matter what are the, for example, skills of people, because skill is usually something that can be learned. If I'm not talking so about like rocket science or something like that. So let's have a look at the chart. The chart looks like a roller coaster. Big up and big down in 2016. Since 2016, the company is growing, and again, it could be very nice investment for the one who bought the company now. let's have a look at the balance sheet. This balance sheet doesn't look that good like the balance sheet before, and maybe from this balance sheet we can see something like the big drop before would happen in the future, but I don't know. This is just my prediction and I can be completely wrong. So let's have a look at that. Last 4 years, total assets increased plus 20%. Liabilities increased 34%, which is a lot compared to the assets, but maybe they have something that they want to perform, like developing of the company. I didn't read the news, I'm just doing the analysis of the balance sheet, this simple thing, just to show you some principles. And another thing is the equity. Equity increased by 8%, so 2% a year, which is probably good, but could be better. This is something like, basic materials. So we are not talking about, for example, let's say accounting or consultant company that helps people when crisis. And when there are crises, these companies like accounting and consultancy are growing because they're helping people in crisis when many companies are decreasing. So vice versa, or opposite. Total debt increased 33% plus, which in my opinion is not good sign, and we should think about this investment. What about this income statement? The total revenue for 3 years was increasing, but the last year, 22, it was decreasing. So something that we should think about. And the same, the cost of revenue. Actually, cost of revenue was increasing for year of 2019-2020 after the cost of revenue is decreasing, which is good. Again, you can count the ratio between the total revenue and the cost of revenue. So cost of revenue divided by total revenue. And now let's have a look at the dividends. I have dividend from stock market from USA. That's why this is in USD, but the company is from Britain. So as you can see, the price of the company is in pounds or pennies to be exact, but it doesn't matter. So the dividends are variable. So which means, in my opinion, or what I see from that is the company is working dynamically with the dividend payouts to make sure they are safe after the dividend payouts. I don't think even me, for example, if I receive dividend, one year it will be, for example, 1 USD, and another year it will be 70 cents, and another year, for example, 150. I don't mind. Because why? Because I am seeking companies that pay dividends and they do it continuously. Of course, once the dividend is decreasing continuously for a couple of years, I am the one who is closing the position and I'm gonna seek another company. But here, it doesn't happen. Would I invest in this company? Well, to be honest, I don't know. Those two previous company, I would say yes, why not? But when I see the chart and also the numbers, the chart told me the company was in crisis once, and from the numbers from the last 4 years, there is something that shows me the company is getting worse at the moment. But let's be prepared, for example, for the results of this year, and maybe after we can say I am wrong or not, as I am not able to predict the future. So this was Anglo American PLC, a number 4 company now, which is called Premier African Minerals, and that is a company that I mentioned in previous video because I'm investing in this company. So let's have a look at the chart of the company now. As you can see, there was big pump in 2015. This company is OTC company. So OTC means over-the-counter company, which means this is company, for example, which doesn't have like revenues yet, etc. There are usually very small companies, or penny stocks we can call it. They are very cheap and we don't know what is going to happen. So we believe this company, for example, will be good. This is company that is minor, they are seeking something in Zimbabwe. Recently, they started with such a production, so they started to dig the things, the things from the ground, and they were performing many years of geological, researching, and getting also permission from the governments of the countries where they operating. So the process is so long, but investors seem like they trust the company, they trust the management, and as you can see, since 2021, the company's chart is increasing as well. Also, me at the moment, I'm little more than 150% in plus in this on this investment, and we will see what will the future bring. So from what I was reading, and I did a little more researching than numbers, also the statements of the geological researching at this thing. It's really a lot of things to read, but it's really, in my opinion, entertaining thing, and I like it. Now, balance sheet of Premier African Minerals. Total assets increased in last, actually not last, the total assets of 2019, 2020, and 2021 increased by 104.8%, which is perfect. People are investing in the company through the OTC markets, as I said. So even me, I'm practically the one who is investing directly in the company through this way or through this method. So this is really, really good. Like I feel so important doing this. And now total liabilities in those 3 years decreased by 55.6%, which is a lot, and it's perfect. This is what I want to see. And probably everybody who invests money, even the management and even the employees, because when you have less liabilities, then there is even better chance. For example, you keep the job for a longer time, etc. Equity in those last 3 years between 2019 and 2021 increased by 187%, which is perfect. And as you can see, total debt decreased by minus 76%, which I like because it's really a huge number. And as you can see, the income statement and its total revenue zero, because they didn't start the sales yet, because they are still in the beginning. So let's wish them luck. Let's wish luck all the investors who do. Let's wish luck to the management and also the people who work for them, because this is not definitely easy job, to be somewhere in this environment and like this. So for today, it's everything about some simple analysis of companies. So you see how you can use, for example, part of the balance sheet or income statement. I believe this video brought something new to you. You hopefully learned something new. Please comment under the video, give me some feedback to know if I do something wrong or not. I would be really happy for that. Subscribe to this channel, make like, press the bell button, and see you in the next video. In this comparison, you can see performance of 4 assets: Bitcoin, gold, S&P 500 and Palantir. It's last 5 years of their performance, and you can see the Bitcoin is the king, the winner. After we have gold, after S&P 500 and after Palantir. Palantir is a technological company that does software and data analysis, and you can see this is a performance that is very low in 5 years. So like 8% divided 5 years is less than 2% a year, right? What I want to say is the technological sector can bring you very good gains, but also almost nothing. So keep watching and follow From Failures to Growth, and be fan of Bitcoin, because it will be big in the future. I'm 100% sure. See you. experiments, we did historical data, and we used the mind that is called strategical intelligence, then, in my opinion, maybe a new Great Depression is on its way. But maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. Just the future will tell us what the reality is. See you in the next video at From Fails to Grow channel. Hi, From Fails to Growth, Oli. What happens to Bitcoin and Ethereum if the US defaults on its debt? Nothing. Why? Because, first of all, if doesn't exist in the real world, and second, these are currencies that have no central power over them, right? What does it mean? It means, for example, when electricity in, let's say, USA will perform blackout, then there is another part of the Bitcoin network or Ethereum or whatever, generating crypto, will be available in another parts of the world, which will keep the network working. So, nothing. That's the answer. Nothing. And see you in the next video. What is the safe haven? Well, this video is not about this topic. Oli, from Fails to Growth. And as you can see, guys, I'm not well prepared for this video because of my voice, as I passed through a 5-day sickness, so I was just lying in the bed like, you know. But I was thinking about this topic today, and I was thinking about what can be the safe haven, and so this video is called What I'm Not Investing In and Why. I believe it can be useful for you, as there will be some type of investments that are really, let's say, shitty, and after that another types of investment that can be good, but it depends what you expect from your investments, and also how much capital, for example, you have, etc. So number one is the thing that is called high yield investment. Why don't invest in these things? It is simple, because mostly they are not sustainable, right? You will, for example, receive an offer, usually social networks or something like that, or a blog or whatever like this, when you, for example, read about investing, when you have, for example, no experience and you want to start something, you will find a project that provides you, for example, or better to say, that promises 2% a day or 7% a week, for example, and you know, motivational videos like man driving fast car and these things. Hey, forget about this. Forget about this. Okay, this is not safe haven and this is not sustainable. We can say this is something like Ponzi scheme or pyramid scheme. I don't want to say all of these are, for example, scams or something like that, but from my experience, my own experience, this is not sustainable investment, and it's usually good only for the, let's say, salesperson who are promoting these investments, because everybody who is in this and promoting this, and somebody who received the registration link, for example, from these kind of people, which means when you receive this registration link from this kind of schemes and you invest your money, then the person who sends you the link receives, for example, 10% of commission, and you can do the same, and someone under you and under you and under you and under you, and this is mathematically not sustainable. You would have to register all the universe and even another universe, another universe, another universe to earn some money. So I would avoid it at all. Number two, we are talking about crypto in this channel. I like crypto. I'm a fan of crypto, especially Bitcoin, because I believe it's future of the monetary system. Now there are some changes, for example, at the coinmain.io exchange. So they are changing the system. They are doing upgrade. You can check it. The link is under this video. And what I was gonna say, from time to time, for example, on Twitter, in request messages, I'm receiving offers. You won 1.5 Bitcoin. Only what you have to do is you need to send us 0.1 Bitcoin. Never do it, because you won't see it anymore. Or do you think somebody will give you money or Bitcoin just like that? Come on. I don't know what is the strategy exactly. It can be interesting advertisement for new exchanges, let's say, but well, we have only one name, yes. So I would recommend, really, don't do this. Don't send your Bitcoins or anything just like that, because it's nonsense. And I believe most of the people who watch this don't do that, but there are even people who can watch these videos and they would do it. So I rather say, please try to avoid these things. I'm not gonna say what names these companies are, because first of all, I don't know them all, and second of all, I want to keep myself in let's say, safe shoes. Third thing is, for example, investing in gold, which is normal investment. Many people invest in gold, and yes, it is possible to earn money on gold because gold is historically growing up. However, the gains are not that high. For example, when you see last 4 or 5 years, there is one, let's say, bull rally, and after it's like zoom, zoom, zoom. I'm sharing the chart under the video. Another thing, where to store it and why you would, for example, hold a piece of gold if it's not jewelry, which is another thing, so something nice. Why you have to have, for example, I don't know, piece of little golden brick, for what? For what? Do you want to open a, let's say, a factory with electronics, or for example, gun production, which includes gold as well? If you want it, then it is worth to invest in gold, of course. In my opinion, investments in gold are replaced by Bitcoin at the moment, or maybe Ethereum or another cryptocurrencies that are here for a long time, and they are stable. So investing in gold, I don't do, because I don't find it absolutely useful. And you have to cut it, for example, and when you want little piece, so better to buy a little bit of Bitcoin, 0.0001 Bitcoin, to store it somewhere in hardware wallet, which is one of the safest way, probably the safest one. How to keep Bitcoin, we will talk about this in another video. And so that's why I don't invest in gold itself, as it was historical safe haven. But even history showed us, actually, for example, it was during the Second World War or before the Second World War, American government took, or let's say stole, maybe legally, of course, gold from the people because of the war. So it is not worth it to keep it, I guess, in my opinion. Mm. Another thing are diamonds. In my opinion, absolutely not good to invest in diamonds when you are like a person who, for example, doesn't have a lot of money. If it's not your hobby, to have a nice piece of diamond, for example, in a ring or something like that, one thing, like, okay. But to make it as an asset, it's good when you trade it. Yeah, I mean, you have a shop with diamonds, for example, or when you are a miner. This is another topic what I want to talk about: gold miners, diamond miners. In another video, I will talk about miners. It will be more miners, let's say gold miners, for example, diamond miners, maybe another precious metals and minerals and these things. As this is, in my opinion, very good and stable investment, because this is something like classical investing, let's say, or classical companies that will be here probably forever, as these materials has a lot of use in the industry. So diamonds, again, each diamond has little different, size, etc. It's very hard, for example, to recognize what is good, what is not good in evaluator. For example, when you go to stock market, you can learn certain things, certain
let's say, principles, and you can do your own valuation of the company, or you can even read analysis from people who understand it. And very often you can find this for free and like this. Another thing what I don't invest is I don't invest in things that are trendy, because trends are usually for short time and after they go bye bye, you know. So you can see this. It's better to invest in stable company that brings dividends, for example, and you don't have to think about diversification a lot, which doesn't mean you don't do diversification at all. It's good to have, for example, two, three companies which bring dividends, so you have a free cash flow regularly, and after you can use it in other investments, for example, or you can spend the money for what you want. I also don't invest in corporate bonds because I find them very risky, and they bring like 5-6% a year. When you know, when you see, for example, a company, dividend company that can bring you, or that brings 8% a year and more on dividends, and after you see corporate bond that is direct investment in the company, and you could receive, for example, 5% only, then in my opinion the risk is too high and it's not worth it. But many people do it. There are even funds that help people to invest in these, so it can be discussion about that. From my opinion, I don't invest in it, and that's it. So yes, so for today I just wanted to share with you something about things that I don't invest in and why. It was probably a short video as I talk fast about that. Next video will be about miners, and it will be about precious metals, diamonds, and another miners. And I hold one miner at the moment. Uh, Link is in the comments under the video, so you can check what company it is. These days they started with kind of production, like they started to dig the first stuff from the ground. I'm waiting for this for more than 2 years. I'm really happy for that. It's perfect. And see you in the next video. Subscribe, like, comment, hit the bell button, visit my other stuff like other pages, for example Facebook, and bye bye.
Imagine doing nothing and receiving money from it. Isn't it a dream? Hi, this is Oli from Fails to Grow channel, where we talk about finance, visions, opinions, and others. And maybe a fairy tale will come in the future. Today, I want to talk about the possibility how to build a income which is constant, and it can be monthly income or quarterly income, for example. And this is called dividend investing. Maybe you are the one who invests in properties and you rent your houses, for example, buildings or flats, and you have this kind of monthly income. And you know, sometimes there is a problem, for example, with a shitty client, right? So this is what you want to avoid. And now imagine you have monthly income, which could be similar to this, what you have from the building, for example, but spending the money, the investment, would be much cheaper. This is what you can do when you do dividend investing. First of all, disclaimer, because this is not a financial advice and all your money decisions are only your problem. The results and anything what comes from your decisions is your responsibility, just to make clear. What is dividend? Well, this is for beginners, it's obvious. So when you're beginner, maybe you heard about dividend, maybe not, I don't know. Dividend is part of the profit that company pays to their owners. How could you become an owner of, for example, an international corporate which is well developed, which is here, for example, for 50 years, 70 years, 40, 30 years, etc. So it's stable business. It can be business defensive, which is, for example, healthcare or food production and others. These companies are very often between dividend aristocrats. What is it? It's a big company that is listed on S&P 500 index. We were talking about this index in the videos about ETF. You can find it on this link. And these companies pay dividends more than 25 years in one row, and the dividends are increasing every year. Now, what is the dividend? The dividend is part of the profit that company pays you as investor, which means you buy a share, for example, or many shares. It depends on what you want, and once a while you will receive a dividend. The dividend can be after tax, before tax. It's up to your country how it works, the system there. I don't know. This is what you need to check with your, for example, financial advisor or consultant or tax advisor and consultant. And this dividend is after your money, so your profit. But when you do nothing, you just buy something and it generates money. You don't have to take care of the management of the company. You don't have to deal with the clients. You don't have to work for that company at all. It's perfect, right? What you need is only broker. For example, I use trading 212. Link is downstairs. Downstairs, yes, under the video. And there are many of them. One day we will talk about brokers which you can use, for example, where you can register. It can be even your bank or online service, whatever it is. All of them usually are good. And let's say legit. I don't like the word legit because even scammers say this is legit, but no. So dividend companies. In this way, we were talking about the blue chips. Blue chips, for instance, Coca-Cola, or Walmart, or simply companies which pay dividends every month. You can find it on internet. There are many lists, many web pages, for example, that share about these things. UFO again. What do you know about investing? Did you invest in your UFO or not? I think this man doesn't talk a lot, but no problem. The very great benefit of dividend investing is compound effect. What does it mean? 1 month you receive a dividend. So either you can spend it for anything you want because it's something like your salary, or you can take the money from the dividend and you can buy piece of the company that provides you the dividend. So you have little more of the company, and another dividend payout will bring little more of the dividend. And in the time, it goes like this. Here is the picture. In the time I'm talking about, for example, 10 years and more, we are not talking about, half year, etc. Because we are talking here about long-term investing. I'm not a trader, and I don't understand trading a lot, only something. So at the moment, we are talking about long term. Long term is 10 years and more, or 5 years and more at least. So this is compound effect. It's like snowball or like this, Yep. Exponential function. Once you start with dividend investing, and you would understand this, in my opinion, you will find heaven, because in my opinion it's the best thing that you can do. Also, for example, funds which are responsible for retirement plans, etc., do these things, and after they are able to produce the cash for the people who need the money for the retirement, for example, or banks and anyone who really understands these things do this, and you as a private investor or very little fish can be part of that. These dividend companies, which are called dividend aristocrats, they don't do a big percentage of the dividend payments. I mean, the percentage a year is, for example, between 3, 4, sometimes 2%, sometimes less. But the stability is very high. That's why people choose this, especially those who are wealthy and who, for example, build their fortune for life. And obviously they don't want to spend money in scams, so they don't want to lose money that they built, under the stress and many problems and these things. So very often they choose these kind of investing, so dividend investing in the dividend aristocrats. Yes, there are even dividend companies which are not aristocrats yet. There are small companies, and they, for example, pay monthly sometimes, which is good as well. Sometimes they pay only once a year, sometimes once in 2 years, it depends. Disadvantage of this is, for example, when the company bankrupts. Yeah, it can happen. This is reality. Another disadvantage could be the board of the directors or the management of the company decides they won't pay the dividend. So after you hold the company, so instead of the dividend, you have only the share. What can happen? What can happen instead of the dividend payout? The management takes the money from the profit, and all the profit they get back into the company to develop the company, for example. So instead of dividend, you can get gain from the stock. So yes, this can be a little disadvantage when you need, for example, let's say constant or monthly cash flow or quarterly cash flow when you want to live of dividends only. But it's up to you what you need. So like this. For today, it is everything. In I don't know which one, but next video I will show you how I choose this kind of investments. And I believe this, as beginner or even if you are maybe experienced investor, this video brought a benefit into your life, maybe your career, I don't know. And thank you for watching. Thank you for all your comments. Once you comment to give me the feedback, for example, just discussion, whatever. Thank you for your like. Thank you for your subscribe, and see you in the next video.